All right. I take no great pleasure in driving a C8 Z06. Well, I kind of do, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is, why in the Hello Kitty have we not had a new Dodge Viper in several years? And as I just suffer driving the C8 Z06, I want to talk about the Dodge Viper. And I want to talk about what I want to see in one, because I would love to have a competitor to this car that hopefully has a manual transmission, automatic transmission stuff, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I'm going to talk about the Dodge Viper, some things that I want to see in it, and how I know for a fact that one is coming. So enough of this fluff. Let's get into the stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, over 54,000 friends, and the 56% of you guys who watch these videos and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, let's get right into this video about the Dodge Viper, or the lack of a Dodge Viper, because it's kind of crazy how one of my Mount Rushmore cars, and I think was probably one of the best cars I've ever seen, you know, just visual wise, because I've only seen maybe one ACR in my life. But I've always thought of those cars to be some of the most beautiful and craziest performing cars I think I've ever seen. And so it's kind of me like a damn shame that they could not go and actually make a new one over the last several years. I mean, especially since the C8 Corvette that I'm suffering right now. I'm suffering in the C8 Z06. It's crazy to think that they could not have made a Viper ever since, what, 2017, when it bought out of production?
You said it, not me.
And so I was so giddy. I was so glad to hear that at Roadkill Nights, people were telling us that Dodge definitely wants to make another Viper and stuff. And that they was actually, I'll put the video right here that I'll tell you about it initially. But we were told by people that they were going to actually start making clay molds of a new car that could be like a Viper successor. Maybe not the exact same Viper style car with the long front hood and V10 engine and stuff like that, because that right there is a pretty unique car, and I wouldn't be opposed for them to, thank you for telling me that, I wouldn't be opposed for them leaving the Viper retired and they come out with a new car that's kind of like a new take, a new sports car. And I wouldn't be opposed to that, but we were told at Roadkill Nights that they were going to make a mold for a pretty cool new Viper replacement car. And even in the video I put up there, we talked to Tim Cadisso's face, we talked to Matt McAleer and stuff, and like they basically told us that they don't want to make a Viper and it be stupid expensive that people can't afford, right? So that's why I was floating ideas and videos that, I mean, it makes perfect sense to make a mid-engine Viper based off of the Maserati MC20 and stuff, because they already have a mid-engine car. That Maserati is like at a $200,000 range, starting off and stuff. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they can go and so have like a carbon fiber monocoque, they can go change it down to maybe fiberglass, kind of like or some kind of composite material, kind of like how the C8 Corvette is, to kind of bring the cost down. So I wouldn't have been opposed to like a Viper at like 110, 120 and stuff, because that's literally the same price range people are paying now to get into like E-Rays and Z06s and Z01s and stuff. So I would figure they would do that. But after talking to Dodge and SRT about this, it's kind of clear from what them telling us what they don't want the Viper to be is what they trying to truly intend for the Viper they want to happen. They don't want it to be a boutique vehicle that only a handful of people can actually afford. They want to make one more affordable. And I kind of got the sense that the C8 Corvette is like its main chief competitor that they're going to go target. Like I said, the car may not be called a Viper, could be called a Tomahawk or some other car name that they come up with and stuff, but it's just a crime that we do not have that type of car out yet. And that I'm glad that now that, you know, Cause of Eris is gone, and that you know, you got Tim Cadisson in charge of pretty much all the performance cars, Matt McAleer at Dodge and stuff. I think that now might be the perfect time for them to be able to bring that car back. I know that car was something that, you know, Ralph Gillis wanted to bring back and stuff. I mean, I showed you guys a video clips of him talking about on the podcast that one of his biggest regrets of him not being able to get approved is a new Gen 6 Viper and stuff. And then he also wanted to have automatic and a manual option, which I think will basically allow that car to be more accessible to more people and stuff.
And what's the thing you fought the hardest for and lost?
Good question.
The thing I fought for but didn't get. Is that what you asked me?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Probably a Gen 6 Viper. I wanted to get a paddle shift system in the Viper, and we could not package it. I don't know if that would have saved the car. I think it's one of those cars that now that it's gone, people appreciate it more.
I'm the type of person where, like, I would love to see a brand new Viper type car. Like, I would love to see one. And if I had to put kind of like a timeline on when we might be able to see a new Viper, I would say at least probably 3 to 4 years from right now, right? Especially since people were telling me that, you know, they would start making clay models and stuff. And I was looking at that that podcast that Ralph Gillis did. He was like, it took them like maybe 18 months from clay model to production for the Dodge Challenger.
Now the story about the Magnum, the reason it died was to make room for the Challenger. So we could only make 3 cars at the plant. We couldn't make 4. So something had to give, and we knew the Challenger was going to be a hit. So I had taken a clay model in the studio and shortened it 6 inches to create the Challenger. It was very boxy. It wasn't as beautiful as the one that we have on the road. And we sent it to California to package, and they drew up Mike Castiglione, who moved on. He's still designing things. He sketched that first sketch, and the management fell in love with it. And that's when Lasorda, if you remember that, he showed the concept car and spontaneously said, "This will be in production in 2 years' time." And everyone was like, "What?" It was literally just us fooling around with the concept, and he did. We launched the car in 22 months, which is still to this day the fastest developed vehicle ever.
They already had a plant set up to make the car and stuff. A lot of the parts are already shared between the Charger, but we're talking about like a brand new car from the ground up that doesn't share really any parts with any other cars. So I would figure it's going to take maybe double the time, because there's really no place right now for them to build that car. And I mean, maybe they don't call the Viper, call another car and stuff. Maybe they go make this car and the actual the smaller $30,000 sports car at the same plant and both make them in Brampton. I think that'd be a pretty cool thing to have Brampton make the next generation of Dodge performance cars. I mean, they already made the previous generation of Dodge performance cars and Chrysler performance cars. So why not give Brampton the ability to go and make the next generation of Dodge performance cars? Like, make Brampton like that epicenter of Dodge performance. And I think that'll be a great way for them to go get Brampton product, get Canada off their back.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I'm going to remember the next time to charge my camera before I start driving off with it and stuff. But hopefully, I'm thinking that'd be a great idea if they're going to make this new Viperish replacement type car, that they will make it and actually put it there at Brampton to kind of solve that problem that they have, because Brampton, whatever Brampton, but the Canadian government was kind of pissed off at Stellantis for taking product from there. But hopefully, I think it'll be basically between Brampton, maybe SRT's new headquarters that they talking about they was going to actually get sometime in the near future, and maybe Belvidere could make them there along with those Jeep SUVs that could be going there, because the Rams midsize truck got moved to Toledo and stuff. So things are getting shuffled around, and it's just a question mark of where would they put this car. And that's why I think, because of there's not really a clear place to where they're going to build this car that, you know, I particularly know of, that you're thinking probably 3 or 4 years before we see this car. And it kind of lines up perfectly with the C9 Corvette and stuff, because I think the C9 Corvette probably come out maybe around 2029, somewhere around there. We're in 2025 right now. So that's right around that same ballpark that we can maybe potentially see a brand new C9 Corvette, this brand new Viper replacement type car. And hopefully, just hopefully, they will basically make the vehicle more attainable. Ever since this thing raised around what, the $60,000 to $80,000 price range, it's more attainable to have a sports car that has an engine in the back. There's no other way to get something that cheap with an engine in the back than to buy a Corvette and stuff. So I hope that Stellantis kind of take that note and kind of make a vehicle for Dodge and give us a particular competitor to the Corvette. Because I've always been a Viper person. I always liked the Viper and stuff. I would love to grab one, and if it has to get to a point where they make a new one, I mean, I fingers crossed that we will see a V10 version. Maybe it's not going to be a mass-produced version. Maybe just an engine upgrade and stuff, kind of like how you have the The Stingray has a regular V8 in there. Then the Z06, like the one I was driving, has a flat plane crank version. So maybe we'll see different engine options. Maybe the lower end version is a V8 version, and then maybe the higher off trims is more expensive. Maybe they have V10s in there. We just don't know, but that's just something that I would love to see. And I just want to see a new Viper. It's kind of a shame that the Viper was like the pinnacle, and it was like one of the coolest cars when it first came out. And there's no way in the world anyone can tell me that there's not a place in the automotive market for a new Viper, especially one that has manual and automatic transmission stuff to make it more adoptable. With all this special cool things I saw in the Dodge Charger 6-pack car when I went to Nashville to drive it and stuff, that car is pretty special. It does definitely handle pretty well. And if I think they could make that big, heavy 5,000-pound car handle as well as it did on the Dragon, I can only imagine what the crap they would do with a new Viper type replacement. But that's all I got to talk about this video right here. I just really want to see a replacement car at the end of the day. I really want to see one. I don't think we're going to see one anytime soon, but just knowing that I've heard from people that they were telling me that they are making models for one gives me great optimism. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Tell me what you want to see from a new replacement Dodge Viper. Do you want to see the engine in the front, or do you want to see the engine right behind you? Do you guys think that we're going to see a V8 in there, a V10, or maybe they go borrow a V12 from Ferrari and stuff, just kind of like not have to redevelop into their new engines and stuff, especially here in America and stuff? Do you guys think they're going to build this new type vehicle in America, or could Brampton be that place where they go put this car at to give us the next generation of Dodge performance vehicle stuff? I would love to see this vehicle come out right around the same time that we will see an actual not Gen 6, but Generation 4 Hemi V8 engine and stuff. I think that'd be a perfect timing, and that'd be the first vehicle it comes out in. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. If you want to check out the Gen 4 Hemi project that I know that Dodge was working on, check out this video right here. And until the next time, I'm out.